Hey everybody, Crow here, and I'm going to do something I don't normally do here on this channel, and I'm going to disassemble this Evercade. Now, I'm not a professional at disassembling things or anything. I'm not afraid to really take things apart and tinker with them. I just don't normally make videos about it. But one of the reasons why I'm making this video is because I was thinking about disassembling this thing about a year ago. And if you look at this thing, there's no screw holes or anything, meaning that there's something I've got to pry apart. And I really was not sure if I should really do it or not. And when I looked up instructional videos on how to do it, there was really nothing. This was about a year ago. And the reason why I was going to do that about a year ago is because this USB jack was kind of acting a little bit funky. It wasn't accepting like all chargers. It was only accepting certain ones. But I decided to live with it since there were certain plugs I found that would work with it. I think I've got 5 of them set aside, but not everything worked with it. So I decided to live with it. But I do have a reason for disassembling it. This isn't because I wanted to make a video for it, and it's not because there's anything necessarily broken with this, but you're going to have to wait till the end of the video to find out why I'm just going to disassemble this. And that's only if I'm successful. It could be very well that I could wind up destroying this thing. Like I said, I'm not a professional at it. And the reason why I'm not really afraid to destroy this is because I do have a backup just in case something goes wrong. I hate to have an extra one. And the other reason I didn't really disassemble this in the past is because I didn't really have the appropriate tools. Sure, I had screwdrivers and everything, but one of the first steps you have to do is you have to peel off this front plate, and I really had nothing to do that with. So I did buy this iFixit kit fairly recently, just so I could specifically do this. And I thought it'd be nice to have some extra tools around. So we've got, you know, a plunger here that we could pull to start. We got like a thing we kind of dig up and take that apart. And yeah, this little gadget here. So basically, I'm going to use this iFixit kit. Also, I had to get some isopropyl alcohol, and I might have just bumped the camera or something. I don't know. We'll see. But 99% isopropyl alcohol, which would supposedly help dissolve the glue. I'm only doing this because I saw it in another video. There's only two right now. There's like 2 other videos on YouTube that show disassembly, and they're pretty recent. I'll link to them both in the description below. And also Evercade info has pictures of a Evercade that's kind of in pieces. I don't think it was disassembled on purpose, but I actually used that to help me as well. But since I'm going to use this isopropyl alcohol, I'm going to put this down there. And again, I've never used these tools before, so we're going to just kind of play it by ear. And again, if I happen to fail in all this, you might not even see this video. So if you're seeing this video, you got to kind of expect that all of this went to plan. And that's just, again, the only reason I'm doing this is because I saw somebody else do it and it seemed to work fine for them. And this isn't like water or anything, so it's not gonna, I don't think this will damage anything. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Already, I'm afraid I damaged something, like physically. Not technically. There we go. Got it under there. So, yeah, it's scraping off the paint. I don't know. I was kind of hoping that it wouldn't damage this too much, but oh, here we go. So now, what we could do also is use this plunger thingy to try and help separate this, which I don't think is really going to help since I got so much alcohol on this thing. But let's keep going at it. And like once I get this faceplate off, it should be pretty much smooth sailing from here. This is like the reason why I never did this. And a lot of things these days have this kind of setup where all the screws are hidden. Let's see here. There we go. It's actually pretty smooth once we get it to a certain point. But you can see that like some of the paint around the edges is kind of oh, what's it? Oh, I see. I see. There's a layer of tacky stuff that I'm kind of I've kind of damaged as well, but that's fine. And let's not like pull too much on there. Let's get this around. And because I do plan on reassembling this, and you know, if there's a little scuffs here or there, it's fine, I suppose. I guess I could apply a little bit more alcohol, but we're not going to do that. And there we go. That is the hardest part, at least the reason why I hadn't disassembled this already in the past. A little bit of there's still sticky stuff on here, so maybe I won't need like to reassemble this with glue or whatnot. But I don't like the fact that this kind of crunched up, so I might cut this part off when I reassemble this. And also, well, we could leave that on there. Also, let's wipe this down a little bit. Got a couple of microfiber gauze. Now it's actually pretty straightforward because now I can actually see the screws. So let's grab a bit here and unscrew these 6 screws. And this is something I meant to grab ahead of time and I totally forgot. But this is a magnetic dish for holding. We can hold the screws in there. All right. And this should have a magnetic tip. I thought I had a magnetic tip. There we go. Yeah. So I'm going to have a couple a little bit. All right. That's 2. Three. 4. Oh, got stuck to my fingers. 5. And 6. So that's our 6 screws. Let's put these over here because I'm sure there'll be more screws. And now I think that what I saw before, it's still kind of in there. So let's oh no, okay, yeah, we got this little tool, and yeah, it's still like kind of clamped down a little bit somewhere, like it's snapped in here. I mean, it's loose here, but over here it's like tight over here, and then let's see up at the top here, loose, tight, loose. There we go. There we go. That's snapped open. Let's do it down below as well. There we go. All right. So there's something connecting, and I see it. The little plug here. I'm probably not going to be able to see it on camera, but oh, there's 2 of them. Let me just unplug these, and I'll kind of show you after. All right. So yeah, there were 2 plugs plugged into the circuit board. Looks like it's all mounted to the front plate here. I was kind of just afraid not to tip this over, but it doesn't look like anything will kind of fall out. So yeah, there we go. There's the back of it. It was plugged in here and here. So let's set this aside for a moment and see what we got here. This was the, looks like this was the power button up top here. Kind of came loose, but that's fine. I'm not going to disassemble all of this. It's not really necessary. But that's interesting that the controls for the D-pad were mounted to the back plate, but the buttons are kind of mounted over here. So, and I'm not going to do that because I don't really need to, like, that's weird. Like the button for this shoulder is here, but the button for this shoulder is on a completely different circuit board. So let's put that aside here. And now let's take apart this part here. So what we got? Well, Let's start over here. Is this battery? Let's see if we can get this battery out. Let's see. It seems like it's like stickered on there somewhere. Yep, I see some glue in there. Is that what I want to do? I don't know. Let's hold off on that. Let's see if we can unplug the battery. There's some tweezers in here. See if we can actually pull it out with these tweezers. Yep. There we go. Battery is unplugged. So instead of doing that, let's unscrew this and see if this comes out with the battery. Yeah, these screws are definitely different from the ones I pulled out the front. And if I'm bumping the camera, I apologize. It's on a, it's kind of like on a mount that you would normally have a microphone on. You know what's funny is every time I mention that I'm using my phone and it overheats, that's exactly the point it stops recording and overheats. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should pull out a fan. So I pull out a fan. Hopefully I'll notice again if it stops. But let's, in the meantime, let's try to get this battery out. It is glued into place, or it's got some sticky stuff in there at the very least. So let's see what we can do. Let's see here. I don't want to pull it too much, but something needs to be done. It's on both, I think. This and, or no, maybe it's just on the other one. So let's disassemble this here. We can actually, let me grab this little thing here and try to prop open this pin here to unplug that up. Because that should, let's see here, it's really tiny. One side or the other. Let's do this side. There we go. That's open now, finally. Okay, so we got that open. Let's take, is this just 2 screws? Because hopefully it is. Again, very unprofessional here. I don't have any schematics or anything to look at. I guess I could have looked at somebody else's video a little bit more in depth. So, is that, oh, that comes right off. Okay, so then we can, okay, that's fine. And now the screen, I definitely want to take off. Again, oh, there we go. Okay, propped open. Didn't break it even. This is one of the speakers. You know, are both speakers? Can we pull that out? Something's, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's one of the speakers. That's like, out of curiosity, let's take this apart too and just see. Well, I'm going to have to anyway to get the screen out. So that's 1. 2. Yeah, definitely stereo speakers here because I could see the cables going to a second speaker there. Okay, we're not going to bother to pull that out because we don't really need to go any further than that. But here are the buttons here. B. Actually, let's take that out. Let's take the buttons out. A and X. Here is one of our, don't remember, start select. Yeah, start select. Here's the D-pad. That's kind of like in there. I think that just kind of gets, that's interesting. Does this like screw apart or something like that? Oh, the screen just, okay, there you go. There's the screen. Just kind of, yep. I'm sure you saw my head or something. There's my head. Yep. Here we go. That's the screen. That's weird. I've never really seen a D-pad like this before. I think, like, I don't even want, I'm not going to take this out because I really don't know how it is in here the way it is. It doesn't twist. Is it two pieces and not one? Is this one piece? That's very weird. I'm not really sure how that, but whatever it is, it's really, I mean, it feels really good when you play it. So we're not going to bother with that. I guess I could take this speaker right out of there. So there's that, and pretty much almost done here. Oop, magnetic tip stuck on that. Okay, let's see here. What else we got here? Here's the, that's where the buttons go. So there's this part here. Let's see if we can flip that up. I think that maybe, yeah, they just pop up. I don't need to pull them out. I don't know what I was thinking of that. So that's that. And then we've got the battery, and it's kind of stuck on both of these with the sticky tape. I can see better on this side. So what is the best way to deal with this? It's a little bit easier now that both these parts are out. Again, I don't want to force it too much because I don't want to break anything. There's that. And then there's, yeah. You can see the tape here still. And, oh, here's the start and select buttons here on the, and then if we can get this free, let's see if we can, yeah, I can see the tape here. And it's almost like they didn't want you to disassemble this. There we go. Look at this. We've got the whole thing apart. Let me clean this up a little bit. We'll get a good shot of all the pieces. All right, so there you are. That is the Evercade almost completely disassembled. Now, obviously, I didn't take out a couple parts here. Didn't take out the D-pad. I don't really have a clue how to take that apart. I don't know if it's two parts or if you just need to pry it out. I don't want to risk it. I don't need to take it apart. It's not necessary. It's not something I want to replace. But the reason why I disassembled this is because in this box here, I have a couple of mods I want to try and install on this thing, but I'm going to save that for a second video. And oh yeah, I totally forgot. I kind of inserting this in here because after I closed it all down, I was like, wait a minute, I wanted to try something here. I kind of partially reassembled it here, and I just wanted to see what this is like if without the case on. So here I have a cartridge, just as the Worms collection. Let's pop that cartridge in here and turn that on. Let's turn power on, and there, oh, there's our green light. And the screen works and everything. So again, yeah, just everything's kind of just in place here. Let's get this up here and turn the volume up. There we go. Evercade. And there we go. There's our Worms. And this should be the... okay, there we go. That's left, right. Let's select it. There we go. We've selected Worms Armageddon. Oh, the menu button. Where's, oh, this is, no, that's select, that's start. The menu button is over here. So if we hit the menu button, there we go. The reason I'm doing this is because settings, screen ratio, full screen, there we go, exit, return the game. There we go. Look at that. And even, I could even pull up my last save state. State, there we go. Look at that, 7 hours and 11 minutes. There we go, and we're in. There's where my last save state was, Worms Armageddon. I just thought that would be pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm going to cut back to where we were, and I will finish up the video. We'll leave it at that for right now. The next video, I will pick up exactly from this point. If you did like this video, please do hit that like button, and I will be back.